I don't know why or how anybody can support Project 2025. And I know that there was allegedly a joke about dictators and whether or not that's funny, but in the United States of America, dictatorships are never funny, and Project 2025 is giving the playbook for authoritarianism as well as the next dictator to come in.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett has been on an absolute tear this week. Not only did she smack a former lawyer of Donald Trump with the truth 2x4 that left the room cracking up, she also coined the term bleach blonde, bad-built butch body.
Let's see, you're the executive director for the America First Legal, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and America First Legal is a member of Project 2025, which is dedicated to creating the playbook for the next conservative administration and what it calls the Project Pillars, correct?
We are proud contributors to Project 2025.
Okay, and are you familiar with Project 2025's mandate for leadership?
In fact, I am.
Okay. And in fact, you wrote some of the sections of this mandate related to the DOJ, correct?
Sure did.
And the mandate outlines policy priorities for the next conservative president. Is that correct?
It does.
You've done a great job. I just want to let you know.
During a recent session of the House Judiciary Weaponization Subcommittee, Representative Jasmine Crockett sparred with Gene Hamilton, the director of America First Legal, over the contentious Project 2025. This initiative, touted by MAGA nutjobs, aims to destroy our democratic institutions and installing Trump loyalists.
All right, so let's walk through some of the provisions of the mandate. It calls for eliminating the Department of Education, eliminating the Department of Commerce, deploying the military for the use of domestic law enforcement against protesters under the Insurrection Act of 1807. It also has the repealing of Schedule F status for thousands of federal employees to allow a president to replace career civil servants with unqualified partisan loyalists. That's probably my favorite of it. It also prohibits the FBI from combating the spread of misinformation and disinformation, like Russia and China, who are actively trying to interfere with American elections.
Crockett raised valid concerns about the project's potential ramifications, particularly its proposals to dismantle federal departments and utilize the antiquated Insurrection Act of 1807 for domestic law enforcement purposes. Of particular note was Crockett's critique of the plan's implications for the federal workforce. The invocation of the Insurrection Act drew widespread unease, evoking concerns about civil liberties and unchecked executive power. In the heat of the battle, Texas Democrat Jasmine Crockett wielded common sense and discernment like a scalpel, slicing the MAGA arguments to bits.
I'm just going to ask, we're not going to play, we're going to do Miss Winebanks. Have you heard of any of these lawyers? I've got Robert Cheeley, Kenneth Chesborough, Jeffrey Clark, Matthew DePerno, John Eastman, Jenna Ellis, Michael Farino, Rudy Giuliani, Julia Halia. I got a long list. Have you heard of any of these people?
I have.
Are you aware as to whether or not any of them have faced criminal penalties?
Yes, and also been disbarred or suspended.
Oh, yeah, okay. So they've had some issues, but these are the hand-picked lawyers for Trump.
Crockett had an exchange with former Watergate prosecutor Jill Winebanks as well, unearthing the troubling track record of attorneys handpicked by Donald Trump who had faced charges, disbarment, or suspension.
I'm assuming that y'all have never been Trump lawyers, Mr. Trusty or Mr. Costello.
No, I was for a year.
Oh, you were, and you still have your bar card?
I'm sorry?
You still have your bar card?
Yeah, well, unless I get targeted for daring to represent a former president.
You have absolutely done a lot better than most that deal with him, so good for you.
During the hearing, Crockett also questioned former Trump lawyer Jim Trusty, referencing Trusty's departure and the pattern of Trump associates facing legal issues. Crockett humorously quipped, "You still have your bar card?" The remark drew laughter in the room and exposed the lack of credibility of lawyers representing Donald Trump. In the face of MAGA rhetoric and Trumpian dystopia, Crockett emerges as a voice of reason, championing not only the marginalized in her district, but all Americans sick and tired of the corrosive influence of extremist ideologies. Case in point, when Marge the Trainwreck Green's nasty, ignorant comments about fake eyelashes went unchecked last week, Crockett demanded accountability from Representative James Comer with a pointed question.
Ms. Green, for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's?
It's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
It was about the acceptability of labeling a colleague as a bleach blonde, bad-built butch body. The reaction, including laughter from Jamie Raskin and others, underscored the sheer audacity of Green's behavior and the importance of holding individuals like her accountable. In a political theater full of mouthpieces for Donald Trump, Crockett's commitment to principles of decency and fairness sets her apart. Her fearlessness in confronting injustice and standing up for what is right serves as a powerful example of what a legislator is supposed to do: fight for truth and justice and uphold the Constitution instead of making a mockery of it. In tandem with leaders like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Jasmine Crockett embodies the kind of integrity and courage that our Congress sorely needs. While figures like Marge the Trainwreck Green and Lauren Boebert peddling misinformation and fear-mongering, Crockett and Ocasio-Cortez offer a refreshing alternative, a beacon of truth, reason, and dignity. From AOC's baby girl quip to Crockett's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body takedown of Marge the Trainwreck Green, this tag team has gone viral. They refuse to back down in the face of injustice and uphold the values of integrity, empathy, and respect for all. With lawmakers like Ocasio-Cortez, Jamie Raskin, and Crockett leading the way, MAGA's misinformation campaign is shaking like a house of cards as conspirators like Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani face prison. We cannot allow clowns like Marge the Trainwreck Green, Lauren Boebert, and James Comer to undermine our democracy. We need real leaders like Jasmine Crockett calling out their lies and exposing their underhanded agenda with surgical accuracy and clever wit. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.